to Friar Talk. Right now, it is going to be me, Matt, and Chase. I think Isaac's going to hop on in the middle of the episode, and I think Chase might have to hop out. So probably not going to have a super long episode today, but we wanted to do a quick recap because this was an incredible series when you're looking at it from the Padres' perspective, coming off of getting swept by the Rockies, which looked very, very rough. You have the Manny Machado injury, which now it seems like isn't as significant as we initially thought. And then you come out and you get a big time sweep. You get some offense out of, a bunch of the guys in the bottom of the order today. Jose Azocar, what a phenomenal game today. And of course, the big guy of the series, of course, Jorge Alfaro. I already see some quotes in the chat about Alfaro, and definitely deserves that. But super fun series, nice bounce back. Clev looked pretty good today. Mania looked good. Like I think you're seeing a team that's going to be able to hang on and is going to be really solid. So very happy about this series. But Chase, how you feeling about it?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, it was just a really good series. Mania pitched well. Outside of really the Grisham trying to dive for a ball he probably shouldn't have, the Padres played great baseball. And you see guys like Kim, Grisham, Azocar today went insane, but bottom of the lineup started to prove. Nola had some timely RBIs. Abrams finally got a hit. Azocar went 3 for 5 today. So just to look around, just because I know Kim's starting to finally, like, as soon as Machado went down, it looks Kim was like, oh, I need to step up. It looks like Kim had been stepping up. So I went to go see his stats. Would you like to guess what he's been hitting in his last 15 games?
Dude, it has to be pretty high because its average is what, like 230-ish, 240 now? And he was hitting
It's
like
near
barely
230.
I would guess for how many games? Like 2 weeks, you said?
Yeah, the past 15 games.
15 games. I'm gonna say 270.
Better. He's hitting
Really?
294 with a 393 on base and a 412 slugging. He has over an 800 OPS in the past 15 games, just quietly. Which I was very shook. I wasn't expecting that at all. So when I was like, wow, we were giving Kim a lot of flack, but he's been doing really good actually. So Kim is starting to produce too. It's kind of great that, one man went down, another man comes up and produces. Just kind of how the Padres have been and kind of what the Padres still need to do. I mean, it looks like Machado is going to avoid the IL stint. They have to decide tomorrow, but Bomel said it looks like he's going to avoid that. So it just is nice to have one man go down and another man completely take his place.
Yeah, and that was something that we were talking about, and we talked mostly about Abrams kind of filling that void, but it doesn't have to be like just him. I see some chats about him. We'll get to Abrams in a second here, but I mean, Kim hitting 294, that is extremely surprising. And a lot of those are infield hits and, like hustle plays. I know he had the liner. That was definitely an error. I think they probably called it an error, but today he had another liner where it's like stuff off the glove.
They
but
actually ruled that a hit.
The one today or the one yesterday?
Yesterday, the one that went off Luplo's glove.
They called that a hit.
They called it a hit.
Dude, the hit, and they called Grisham's a hit too. The one where Grisham dove and it was inside the Parker.
Yeah,
they did not call it an error.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with either calls of them being hits, but it's very hard for an outfielder to get ruled with an error.
That's so weird. That's like a blatant error. the Grisham one, but yeah, I mean him even doing good. I mean that's pretty clutch. I guess next week. And also this wasn't even like the best group of starters for this team either. So to come away with the 3 wins, we didn't do a series recap for the Rockies. We didn't do a series preview for the Diamondbacks just because on Sunday it was Father's Day. We didn't have a chance to do it. And then Monday we were talking about Machado instead. We'll do a Phillies preview, but it's big when you can come away with these wins. And then looking a little bit ahead to the Phillies series, where was it? Someone just commented. Here it is, Quan Pham. Musgrove, Gore, Snell, Darvish. That's pretty solid for to rock out there. I know Gore and Snell have been struggling, but it also feels like every single time Snell will leave the game and then like he'll get like 3 or 4 more runs added to his to him just because someone comes in and allows a home run with guys on, which is kind of weird because we've seen that Snell has a knack for getting out of those spots, even though a lot of times he's not going to go more than 5 or 6 innings. But Musgrove and Darvish on the end days, that's huge. Also tomorrow, I know Isaac's going to be going to that game. That is a sweet game for Thursday. You have Musgrove starting, and you have the Jake Cronenworth bobblehead night. So that's very exciting. But yeah, I mean, this is a good spot to be in for this team. I want to look at the standings right now. I haven't checked them like that much recently. I know that the Dodgers were losing earlier, so right now the Padres are half game out. In terms of wild card, let's see. They're only behind the Dodgers and the Mets in the NL. So they're sitting pretty right now. But I don't know. I'm feeling real good about this team. Grisham actually was hitting a little bit today. He's not been that great offensively, though. He had the home run in the first game of the series. Cronenworth, last 2 games, 0 for 5, 0 for 4. So you won 2 games. You had some offense, not really on Tuesday's game, but you had a lot of offense today, and Cronenworth wasn't even producing, and you don't have Tatis and Machado. So, like, that's massive to come away with wins in these games when you don't have your top 3 offensive players producing. But it was super good to get these wins. Let's talk about Jorge Alfaro a little bit, though. So I was looking into just like the other catchers around the NL. Dude, Jorge Alfaro should be an all-star. It's that.
Oh, yeah.
His numbers are the second best. It's wild, dude. It is wild. I think,
Yeah.
who is it? Go ahead.
He definitely needs to DH more. That's all I got to say. I mean, Alfaro's hitting better than Voit. You can stick Voit at first base and put Alfaro at DH, and I think that's the way you rock. That's the way you rock and ride. I mean, Hosmer really hasn't been doing it. I know he hit a home run yesterday, but it's really just know what we're going to get from Hosmer. Alfaro's been hot. Voit has been hotter than Hosmer. And it's just that and Profar cannot, and I repeat, cannot move from the leadoff spot. He went 4 for 4 today.
So I'm going to tweet something after we hop off here. But I was looking at Profar's numbers in like different spots of the lineup. Let me find it right here. I screenshotted it. I'll tweet this right after we get off. But Profar, when he's hitting leadoff, he's hitting 340 with a 396 on base percentage, a 520 slugging, and a 916 OPS. Dude is ridiculous when he's hitting leadoff. I honestly feel like it's just the approach, because we've talked about Profar's biggest strength is working the count. And when he's in a leadoff spot, it feels like that, almost like that mindset of his approach is when he's able to be at his best. Do not move Jurickson Profar from the leadoff spot. He has clearly been the best guy in that spot. I know we were hoping that Trent Grisham would turn into that guy. I don't even want them to try it for months to try to put Trent up there. I think you have to put Profar there. And then when Tatis comes back, it's really nice, because last year we saw that like the offense wouldn't produce unless Tatis was hitting leadoff. If you can put Profar 1, Tatis 2, Crone 3, Machado 4, Voit 5, that is a really, really good 1 through 5. If Profar's getting on base, and he's almost getting on base when hitting leadoff at 40% of the time. So that is clutch. That is super clutch. So yeah, I saw someone else was talking about just like don't move him from leadoff. Who was it? Arthur says, yeah, Profar at leadoff though. Yeah, it has been incredible. So you got to keep him there. It also feels like when he's not hitting leadoff, he hasn't really been that good. That's the other part of it too.
Yeah. Just everyone's kind of been clicking, and it's nice. And Alzocar was like, you know what? I might get replaced by Esteury Ruiz. Let me go a quick 3 for 5 and go a home run short of the cycle. That was crazy. I wasn't expecting Alzocar to explode like that. I mean, he's definitely looking like he needs to get some more reps. I mean, as well give Grish a couple days off, let Alzocar hit. I mean, he's just been hot. He does have under a 700 OPS. That is my only concern. He does not hit for any power at all. He's fast. He can play some defense, but man, he has like 0 power.
No, dude, it's really true. Okay, I see some people. A says for All-Star. I don't know about that, but just being honest. Lizzie says it's a popularity contest. Hosmer has a ton of votes for All-Star. What? Yeah, he's like 5th for first baseman, but Tatis is 5th too, and Tatis has more All-Star votes than Hosmer, which is hilarious. But you guys are bringing up some of this All-Star stuff. So The reason I say that Alfaro can be an all-star, so I'm gonna pop this up right here. Let me share my screen. Dude, the catchers are not good. The catchers are not good at all. So check this out. Contreras is clearly making it. He's probably gonna make it over Profar. But like, look at these actual numbers. Alfaro has slightly better numbers. Doesn't play as much. Better. But like, he's been Real Mutu has not been that good this year at all. Like,
Holy crap,
Will
Tyler
Smith, I guess.
Stevenson.
But Tyler Stevenson's hurt. So you're looking at it, you're like, okay, Contreras is gonna get the fan vote, but one of these guys is gonna get to be a reserve. So, like, who are you taking? You taking Travis? Taking Will Smith? Like, it's kind of iffy. So, only thing I can say is, Fire Faithful, start writing in Jorge Alfaro as much as you can. So he can get some love there. But I don't think that's really the deciding factor. I think it's just determined by the manager. I don't think he'll make it, but he'll have a case if he stays hot come that time. So it's going to be really interesting how it plays out. But like, you wouldn't have expected that, right?
No, I know we were all like very questionable about Alfaro, or like, he's going to be the left fielder. Is he really going to be doing all that great? You looked at his his Marlins numbers. He was all right. And you're like, wow, we're trading for we're trading for another catcher. We already have, I think we had 3 at that point. So now you had to add a 4th, and you're just very questioning. And it turned out to work for the best. I somehow don't believe it. Alfaro's just been crushing it. He loves San Diego. If you saw his interview last night, shout out Jorge Alfaro. That was a great moment. It's just a little unbelievable. I mean, we weren't expecting this. It looks like he's going to be our DH. Love his personality. He's got the flow. He's got the swagger, everything you want. And it's good for San Diego. It's good for the team.
Yeah, I mean, I think that could definitely be like what happens. I think so Lizzie just says they said Hosmer's been practicing with 3 hitting coaches. That is very interesting. I mean, I get it. He's been slumping horribly. And you brought up that he hit the home run. Dude, the first 2 at bats, oh my God, those strikeouts on the curveballs in the dirt, dude, that was brutal on Tuesday. But he does connect on one, and you saw how excited he was when he hit it. Like, he was hyped because he has been struggling. He has been in the last like little bit. I believe that he has a 28, like I forgot what it was. I don't know if it was WRC. I think it was OPS plus. It was a 28 OPS plus for like 2-3 weeks. Crazy stuff right there. Thank you for the super sticker, Olivia. Let's see what else we got here. Got some questions. I see a trade question. What do you think about Caesar's question?
Hold on.
Yeah.
So before that, Clint had said if Alfaro had some speed, he would have had a triple. I don't think you guys understand. Alfaro is actually incredibly fast. Like, his sprint speed is off the charts. He's like in the upper 85th to 90th percentile for the MLB. He is fast. Don't get that twisted.
Dude, he has 90 percentile.
Is he 90 percentile?
90. I mean, last time I checked it.
Yeah, no, what do you feel actually about crazy fast.
Yeah, it's so weird. And dude, well, he's also super strong too, just kind of a physical freak. Yeah. I saw what is it, Cespedes Barbecue? I think that's the Twitter account. They were like, dude, it's sweet to see Alfaro finally like balling out. Because he was a pretty high end prospect, was he not? Like, not recently, but like quite a few years ago, right?
I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, I think so too. So KOS Caesar question: what do you guys feel about this lineup if it were to happen? I'm assuming you're just saying like in general, not like the order. I think it's just position wise. Profar left field, so you keep him in left. Benintendi in center. I don't like Benintendi in center, just defensively. Cronenworth second, Machado third, Tatis shortstop, Voit first, Contreras DH, Happ right field, Alfaro catcher. I think it would be tough to get Contreras and Happ. I think you're going to have to pay a lot. I really like the idea of bringing in one of Ian Happ or one of Benintendi, but you can platoon in right field. You can platoon Mazzara and Myers, and you're gonna have a damn good player if you platoon those two guys, because Myers struggles against some guys, but there are guys that Myers hits really well, and Myers typically is fantastic against lefties. Mazzara hits great against righties. They do not let him hit against lefties. There's a reason for that. They do not let him go up at the plate against them. So I think Mazzara is kind of playing himself into a platoon role, which is really good to see in this spot. But I don't know. What do you guys think about potentially adding Benintendi and then also Contreras and Happ? And then in this case, I think you're dumping Grisham and Myers. Isaac, you want to start out? Because you just
Yeah. I got it. I like the idea of adding Happ more than I do Benintendi. I think you get a little bit more power out of Happ. The thing with Benintendi though is that he hits for average. He's really good at getting on base. I know his OPS has kind of dropped a lot recently, but his last 7 games kind of been back up there. 429 slugging, 355 on base percentage. That's easily over a 750. It's just his last 15 games that have kind of hindered his statistical production. But over the last 30, he's still over a 730. So but the thing about that is that he's getting on base 35% of the time while his slugging is 388. So it's more so you're getting a guy that gets on base, plays good defense, and it's really one of those guys that would be a staple at the top or very bottom of your lineup in case you want to put, Tatis at leadoff. But, if you just want a guy that gets on base, you're going to get a lot out of Andrew Benintendi in that aspect, and you're going to be able to plug him into left field, right field, whatever it is. Hard to take out Jurickson Profar. I don't think they'll do it. That's why I really think we'll get more so somebody that plays that can play both corner outfield spots. But don't think we're getting Contreras. I think we will get one of Happ or Benintendi or just an outfielder in general.
So I don't think we need Contreras. I think we have our 2 catchers. We are loving Jorge Alfaro right now. Nola has actually had some pretty good timely hitting recently. Let me see his stats as of late. I know he's been hitting a lot better in the past 7 games. I'm not sure about the past 15, but his defense speaks volumes. All the pitching staff loves him. You don't need to go out and get another catcher. You kind of hinder yourself in that aspect. I mean, I know Alfaro can play some outfield, but you don't need him to. So the past 15 games, Nola's hitting 283, a 375 on base, and a 370 slugging. In his past 7, he's hitting 318 with a 385 on base and 500 slugging. He's starting to heat up, it looks like. In his past 30, 242, 324, 316. Not hitting for a lot of power, but he's hitting for average, which is okay for a catcher. We don't need our catcher to hit for a lot of power when Alfaro's at DH and Voit is playing first, which is realistically the best way to produce your lineup. So I think you can go for either Benintendi or Happ. I think both are good because Happ can play center. I don't know how well Benintendi can cover the ground in San Diego because he hasn't played a lot of center field. He's been playing a lot of left or right field, and Happ is the only one that's been getting consistent reps at center. So that's the route I would go. And I saw another good question. I think we needed to address it. Where'd it go? Right here. I'll start off because I got to leave after this, but guys, it's 2 starts. It's 2 starts. It's against the Rockies. The Rockies historically have played the Padres well. No matter what, the Padres can have the top 9 baseball players in histories, and somehow the Rockies will still beat them or have a close ball game. It's just the Rockies play the Padres well. I don't know what it is. It is 2 starts against the Rockies. I think he's going to be fine. I think his next game out, he's going to be shut down. I just consider the Rockies to be the Padres' kryptonite. I don't think he's going to fall off. He might hit a little bump in the road now and again, but he's a rookie pitcher pitching in the bigs. I know if you look at his Baseball Savant page, it's all right. There's some blue in it, but he's fine. He's going to come around. His stuff plays into the MLB. He pitched against dominant teams and won for a reason. It's just, like I said, the Rockies play the Padres well. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah. And I don't know. I definitely don't think that. I think it's a good question, a good thing to bring up because we did see that with Ryan Weathers, where he came in And the whole fan base was super hyped. Like, oh, this dude is the next big thing. He comes in the playoffs and he starts the year out super hot. But if you remember, if you look kind of deeper into what his like metrics were at, if you looked at his baseball savant page, it was horrible. Ryan Weathers, he had like a 1 ERA and his FIP was like 6. It was bad. He was not performing well. A lot of hard contact, just two guys, basically just getting lucky. Mackenzie Gore, his fastball was either the best or the second best pitch for the duration of this, out of all of the pitchers, for the duration of the season, basically up until the last couple starts. And now you see his baseball savant page has taken a hit. Well, that's because he got totally rocked in the last 2 games. He has still been fantastic. So I'm not super concerned about him in terms of him hitting another bump in the road. I think Isaac, when we were, I don't know if it was all three of us, or if it was maybe just you and I, Isaac. But when we did the series preview for the Rockies series, and I said I wouldn't be surprised if Mackenzie Gore got kind of rocked a little bit and we see a little bump in a road for a while. I think that if he struggles against the Phillies, I think that it's likely that they'll probably shut him down for a little bit. Not the whole year, not like that long, maybe until the All-Star break. But I do think it makes a little bit of sense just because they still have an innings limit on him. I think it was discussed that it was 120. I think people kind of think that now it's going to be 140. But even then, like he's not going to pitch the entire season. So okay, let's take a little breather. Let's go work on these mechanics. We've talked about how great Ruben Niebla is. And if that's the case, if that does happen, I don't think there's a reason to panic because I feel confident that when he comes back, if he does have one of those stints, he's going to look great again. I mean, we see the top end talent. I don't know if I ever felt the same way about Ryan Weathers. Like you would see like, okay, like, and I still think Ryan Weathers can have a promising future, but I think it's a lot different when you see the high end of Mackenzie Gore. And maybe he doesn't even come out to be like that high end pitcher that we've seen like early on this year, but he's definitely got better stuff than Ryan Weathers. So I think it's a little bit different.
Yeah, the only thing that concerns me, he's not hitting high, maybe not even high, but like 96, 98 consistently anymore. Everybody's starting to notice that his velocity is starting to go down a little bit. But and I'm not trying to downplay what Gore's done, but this whole time it was very predictable to know that his ERA is going to go up eventually. It was going to be in the 3s. Even before his past 2 starts, his expected ERA was like 3.4, 3.5. So it was bound to happen. His expected ERA now is actually a 4.5. But when you look at it, his fastball going down in velocity and the fact that he throws his fastball almost 70% of the time, I think it was bound for a spike in ERA. I mean, of course, it's against the Rockies. I don't know what it is with the Rockies. The Rockies tend to beat up on the Padres last year, this year, whatever it is. The Rockies do beat up on the Padres, but his fastball still a great pitch, still a -11 run value, but his worst pitch so far has been his slider with a batting, or no, sorry. It has actually been a changeup if you want to look at it in terms of batting average. His changeup has a 429 batting average against it, but in terms of run value, the slider has been the worst pitch. So, I mean, I kind of thought the whole, all-star rookie of the year playoff starter thing was kind of premature. Maybe not the rookie of the year, but the all-star and playoff starter was definitely 100%, no doubt about it, premature as hell because he was a rookie who had just gone through some major struggles, and I thought those expectations were far too high for Mackenzie Gore. But do I think he's going to be bad? No, I still think he's going to have a good season. I still think he's going to be around a 3.3, 3.5 ERA when it comes down to it. He's just got to find his fastball velocity again. His stuff's got to be better.
Yeah.
Deal.
That was
He
quick.
got rocked recently. You guys see that?
Did he really? Yeah. No, I didn't.
Yeah, it was 5-3. I think it was either in the 7th or the 8th.
Beautiful.
Yep, 2-run home run, dead center.
to Franmil, bro. It was lit.
Yeah, it was Franmil.
We were, to be fair, we like one day when we weren't recording or right before we recorded, we were looking at the baseball savants for like a bunch of different players, and for giggles, we decided to look at Emilio Pagan's. And if you looked at it, there was some red where the red was supposed to be, but the blue where it was blue was the worst part. So it was like max exit velo, the barrel percentage, the it was like 3 blues, and they were like the worst possible categories for a pitcher. And it's like, okay, yeah, Pagan's fastball looks great, but God, if anybody screws it up, it is going out no matter what. And apparently that happened. Unfortunately, guys, I do have to go right now, so Matt and Isaac are gonna go ahead and carry on without me. But it was nice being on.
See you, Chase. Yeah, so we'll probably go for, I don't know, a little while longer here. Dude, I don't know if you saw, but so going back to Mackenzie Gore, because I was a little excited. I was like, hey, I mean, if we look at the numbers right now, he's a playoff starter. But it makes sense that he wouldn't be. I mean, it is true. Clev's going to be back. Yeah. I thought Clev looked pretty solid today. I'm really excited. I know that you had brought it up not that long ago that he was the lowest starting pitcher in terms of opponent's batting average, which is super cool. I mean, and Clev's also been so good in the past and a very, very consistent pitcher. So if he comes up to speed, we've talked about second half Blake Snell. If you see those two guys, like Mackenzie Gore not being like super elite is not the biggest deal in the world, but I don't know if you guys saw, but on Friday, it's Aaron Nola versus Mackenzie Gore. So he's got his work cut out for him on Friday. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, remember, I know we've talked about this in the past, but you remember, Isaac, when Chris Paddock was a rookie against Kershaw? What was it?
Oh, my God. The Phenom versus the Legend. Oh, guys, let me tell you about that game, man. So Chris Paddock, it was funny. We actually looked at Chris Paddock's rookie numbers. Bro, they are fantastic. Now, did everything go downhill after that? Hell yeah, it did. But I remember that game specifically. The Phenom versus the Legend was the whole headlines. It was all over ESPN and stuff. And the ending score was like 8-1. And I was like, dude, what the heck happened? Yeah, that game was absurd. And you know, going back to how when you were covering Mackenzie Gore and the whole playoff thing, it's just that, like, I truly think this. No matter what his ERA would have been, I don't think it would have been smart to have a rookie go in consistently over someone like Joe Musgrove, who's played not only in the playoffs, but a World Series. Same with Yu Darvish. Same with Blake Snell. Same with Mike Clevenger. They've all done it before, and they've all been very successful in their stints. So even now you look at it, and it's like Joe Musgrove's having a Cy Young type season. Yu Darvish is having an amazing season. Blake Snell, second half Blake Snell is fantastic. Does he suck right now? Maybe, but is post All-Star game Blake Snell really good? Yes, if you look at the numbers. Who's the other guy? Mike Clevenger. When we got Mike Clevenger, you look at all these trades: Darvish, Snell, Musgrove. Mike Clevenger came to the Padres with the lowest ERA out of everyone, and he was the best out of everyone coming to the Padres. So I don't know, you know, for how good Gore is. I understand he's amazing and stuff like that, and he was amazing at the time, but I thought it was just premature.
Yeah, and that's definitely fair. I see a couple other questions here. Jonathan says Lamet has looked a lot better. Yeah, dude, his last few outings have been really good. He could easily be called up because this team needs a right-handed reliever pretty badly right now, I'd say. Let's see what else we got. Morojo needs to be a one-inning guy. Yeah, he looked good in the first inning. Then he loaded the bases, and I think they scored 2 of his runs. How many earned runs did he end up getting? I forget.
I think it was 1.
But he definitely just kind of fell apart after that. Yeah. I think he's also still working his way back a little bit, so he might not be up to full strength for quite some time. Yeah. And we're bringing up a couple of relievers. We brought it up last video, but Jose Castillo, dude, you got to call him up soon. Dude, he has been incredible, and not only in AA, but also in AAA, where you look at the team's ERA and it looks like every guy has an ERA almost in the double digits, and he's just been lights out theirs too. So I definitely want to see Jose Castillo called up sooner than later, because he can be a really, really good left-handed relief option for this team. Definitely. What else we got? I see people talking about Padres also can't hit when Snell pitches. Dude, not only Snell, but Manaea. Dude, they give him no run support. It's brutal.
Completely agreed, for sure. Manaea loses like so many of his starts, but he only gives up like 2 runs. Going back to what you were saying about the bullpen. So the thing with Castillo is apparently they're ramping up his innings right now. So I do think we'll see him like come mid-July, early July, something like that. But they're ramping him up again. Dinelson Lamet, like you said, has been solid down in the minors. Drew Pomeranz, I just saw Devin's question about Palm. He should be back soon also. around July also, and then same thing with Pierce. So as like an influx, a beautiful thing, a beautiful pile of men going and joining the bullpen. So that's a good thing to see for sure. Especially considering like I hope Dinelson Lamet comes back. I really want him to come back. You need a right-handed pitcher. Like I think our bullpen is really good, but it needs a right-handed pitcher. And then the rest, they're all lights out. So
Yeah, Robert Suarez too. They haven't mentioned him.
Suarez, yeah, I forgot about Suarez. I don't know the update on him though.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either. And also, I'm not super confident in Palmer Pierce. Like Palm it sounds a lot better, but I also want to see how he looks because last year he didn't look like the same guy. And he was kind of up. It was the same deal with Lamet, but not to the full extent.
Yeah.
Going back real quick to Mania, Jonathan says he's gotten run support once. It's very true. Dude, you know that 10 of his 13 starts have been quality starts?
Yeah, and he doesn't get any of the wins. It's ridiculous.
Dude, none of them, man. You get screwed. Yeah, the lefty starters that get no run support. Yeah, what's up with that?
No, that's true.
Let's see. Tatis, Machado and Tatis, I feel will be around the time we play the Dodgers in LA. That's in a couple weeks, right? That's not too long. That's before the All-Star break.
So we play them, I think, beginning of July, like
like a week from tomorrow.
Like pretty soon. Yeah. Let me just check. Sorry.
Probably not Tatis then.
Not Tatis, but June 30th through the 3rd is when we're playing the Dodgers in LA, and then we don't play them again till the 5th of August. So by that time, we will have Tatis and Machado. We'll be, I really do think we're better than the Dodgers. Everyone in the chat, do you guys think we're better than the Dodgers? Matt, do you think we're better than the Dodgers?
I think our pitching staff is as our whole, not just like the rotation, but the whole staff. I think the whole staff is going to come around. You brought up, we said like 6 names for relievers that are coming up.
Yeah.
And also, if you look at the relievers, like there's going to be a lot of relieving depth. We talked about the starters. I think, yes, the pitching is. The hitting, the Dodgers have one of the most stacked lineups of all time,
yeah.
So it's kind of tough. The Padres can definitely beat the Dodgers in a playoff series because I feel like when it comes down to it, like you want to have that high-end pitching. So yeah, they're not going to finish it. They're not going to get first, I don't think. I would find it very unlikely unless the Dodgers are pretty banged up though, so you could come out in front with that. But I think it's super close. I think both of them are better than the Mets. But I think it's kind of a toss-up for one. When they're both fully healthy, it's hard to because like what are these teams going to look like at the deadline? Because we were talking about a little bit earlier, and I also think a video I want to do sometime is I want to talk about the positions, like the top positions that the Padres should trade for, because the more and the more I think about it, I think they should go after a center fielder.
The Padres?
Yeah, dude. Because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, you can put these different guys in the corner outfield spots. Profile looks good. Your catcher spot looks good. You're getting all these relievers back. You have 7 starters. So like, where are you really trying to get someone? Center field. Who are you trying to get? Probably Brian Reynolds.
We're going after Reynolds, bro.
I'm coming around to it, man.
Guys, I'm all in. I'm all in on that. All right. I'm all in on Reynolds. You look at it. I mean, bro, how many times have we said it? Look, it's AJ Preller. Every deadline, every offseason that the Padres have been in contention, supposedly, or a good team on paper, he's gone after a big name. Max Scherzer. I'm pretty sure he was going. I don't remember for sure, but he might have been going towards trying to trade for Turner also. But he's always going after these big names, man. I mean, I'm gonna go back to the Dodgers really quick. I just saw that I'm pretty sure they've had the weakest schedule up to this point. They've had the weakest schedule. I mean, we're like bottom 10, and we've had one of the 10 weakest schedules, but we're not by far and away the weakest schedule. And we're only like half a game back, or maybe half a game up as of right now. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they play tonight, but they've had one of the weakest schedules in baseball. And now they're going to go a little bit without Mookie Betts and Walker Buehler. So then you look at it, now we're going towards the part of the season. I just saw the remaining strength of schedules where the Padres have an easier schedule the rest of the way than the Dodgers do. Now, what's going to be the biggest factor of who wins this division? September is going to be the biggest factor. That is why having essentially one of the freshest and healthiest bullpens in September is going to be such a big deal for the Padres team, because right now, yes, you don't have many bullpen arms, but you're going to have so many guys coming back that, like I said, you're going to have one of the freshest bullpens in baseball. Not only that, you have like 6 or 7 starters. If you keep going 6 or 7 starters, you're going to have some really healthy starters come down that road. Come down September, October. You're going to have some really healthy starters that don't have many innings on them, or as many innings as you'd expect. Now, the only concern is the lineup. The Dodgers, I fear, will make a big move. Will the Padres make a big move? Do the Padres have the resources to make a big move? I think they do. You look at the farm system. Yes, it's a little top heavy. You might have to give up somebody that's one of those top heavy prospects. I like Reynolds. I'm all in on Reynolds. But yeah, man, we'll have to see how it goes at the deadline. We know, and it absolutely amazes me that the Dodgers by far and away have the highest payroll in baseball and still need somebody, still need a star to help them. That is, I think, quite embarrassing. But yeah, I do think the Padres are better set up for success than the Dodgers.
Yeah, and I do wonder if they go after and try to make one of those big moves. But Dodgers without Betts and Buehler is tough. And Betts isn't gonna be back for the next series, huh?
Cracked rib is a tough one, man. I mean, I don't know. I'll look at his timeline right now. I'll try and find it.
Maybe DH, and that's probably it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on the 10-day IL, but you know how 10-day ILs work. They can be on there way longer than 10 days.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's just like the minimum. That's why the Padres didn't want to put Manny on it.
Genius.
I saw Devin asked Tatis experiment with air bat swings. How do you guys feel about it? He's been doing it for like a month. I mean, I think it's just something that he's been like doing for quite. That's what he said. I don't know if you watched he did a little like a little press conference, and he was just explaining it. He's like, yeah, like I've just been kind of swinging, and he said he was like 40%. And yeah, there was a video too. Like I don't think it's like we shouldn't be like concerned. There's nothing bad about that. Like I think he's just doing that on his own. He's not out there just like going against the team's will and like taking like full on swings against like live pitching or anything like that. So nothing to be concerned about, but I think it's a positive thing that he's working towards. Getting outfield that can hit. So Arthur asked this, can we take a minute? Cause we we're just talking about the Dodgers. Can we take a minute the Dodgers are the MLB equivalent of the Vegas Golden Knights. So I don't follow hockey, but I know this is the case, but I wanted to bring this comment up because I saw this graphic today that in AJ Preller's tenure, in San Diego, the Dodgers have spent $800 million more than the Padres. That's brutal, man.
Insane, dude. That is so crazy. I actually just found Mookie. What Mookie said. Mookie was saying he only hopes he's out 2 weeks, bro. If you're out 2 weeks with a cracked rib, you're a man amongst men. I mean, I don't know what else to say. But man, hey, Manny looked like his leg fell off. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. But he didn't hit the IL. So
Manny and Mookie are some tough dudes. Apparently, that's crazy.
They are. For sure.
Dude, yeah, the whole Manny thing that was surprising, right? Because it looked like his leg, it looked like it snapped, dude. My first thought was, no way, he just broke his ankle.
Same. I looked at it, dude, and I was like, dude, this is a football injury. That looked like a football injury. Like his leg, I don't know. Oh God, sorry. I don't know how it did that, but I mean, it was super weird. I definitely thought he was done, but really good to see he's okay. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something, man. Was it in the comments? Oh, I wanted to talk about the Angels, bro, because
we were talking about last night,
dude. How the hell do you? That's like saying, look, Ohtani hits 2 bombs and they still lose, bro. He's done. There's no way he should go back. There's no way he should stay with that team. He should ask for a trade now. The Angels should trade him now. Get the most out of him while they can, because there is absolutely no way in hell he's coming back. Now, the thing with this, and I talked to my Angels friends about this, the problem with selling on Ohtani, you get rid of a whole market, the whole Japanese, or I don't know where he comes from. I think it's Japanese. That whole Japanese market is not yours anymore. You are not making any money from them anymore. That is one of the reasons that you see guys like Yu Darvish have more followers than Mike Trout, because of that market. You get so much money from them, and essentially that is what some teams are. Some teams are just very money driven. Ohtani is one of those guys that gets you a lot of money. So I don't know. I think they should sell. I think you can look at it two ways. Do you want the money, or do you want to be successful? Because in my opinion, with success, there's still going to be money.
Yeah. I wonder how it's going to work out. I think, and also, I'll say this too. I do not want the Padres to trade for Ohtani.
I'd be
Not
scared.
at all.
I'm
Not
so scared.
at all. Now, I would love if the Padres went and tried to sign Ohtani.
Yeah.
I know they're going to pay him way too much, but you would have to trade so much either at this deadline or in the offseason. Unlikely that they would end up keeping him until next deadline and then dumping him for half a year. Like that would just be kind of a weird situation. But dude, I would love if they signed him. But if you trade for Shohei Ohtani, you're going to give up everything.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to be all in on 3 guys. And if you go and trade for Shohei Ohtani, you're probably not keeping Joe Musgrove. So I mean, maybe if you even go sign Ohtani, I don't really know how that'd work out. But if you have Ohtani and Darvish, dude, you have the Japanese market on lock, dude.
In my opinion, you are the biggest team in baseball.
And we talked about it with Kim too. Because Kim is like, dude, Kim is a star. Like Kim makes what, $7 million?
Yes.
Kim makes the Padres close to that in terms of what they get in like fans in Korea. Also, if you notice too, there's a Korean Padres broadcast.
Yes,
that's wild, dude. That's wild.
They specifically put on Ha-Seong Kim's at bats in Korea.
Sorry, there's a fire truck coming through.
Oh, okay, I got it. Let's see. If the Padres realize they're not going to re-sign Musgrove, where they use them. Oh my God, dude! I forgot to tell you. Okay, I forgot what I was looking at. There was an Angels fan, and he goes, if we're not contending this year, or if we need pitching, should we trade Ward, somebody else, and somebody else for Joe Musgrove? But there were just 2 other bums. I could not believe my eyes. I could not believe I read that crap. No, we're not trading Joe Musgrove.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do like your logic, like of like, oh, if you're not gonna be able to keep him, but I think you would end up moving Nick Martinez or someone else before Joe. Yeah. I think there's a 0% chance they're even entertaining it. Mm-hmm. I kind of fully expect Joe Musgrove to be back next year. I know he's gonna make a ton of money.
Me too.
I would find it really hard for the Padres to look at the situation and go, all right, Joe, we're gonna let you walk. We know that you just want to stay here. You'll probably take way less to stay in San Diego. But I don't know. I could see Nick Martinez. I could even see Blake Snell as a potential guy too. But Clev doesn't make any sense either because you would get nothing back. You get
nothing. Yeah, I mean, if we weren't contending, if we weren't one of the best teams in baseball right now, then I could. Yeah, he has a San Diego tat, dude. He's all in. He's all in, bro. Like he wants to be here. If we weren't contending, I could see us trading him. But we're contending. It's not like an Angels situation. It's not like it's nothing like that. It's not like a Pirates situation. We're a good team.
Yeah, you don't want to trade like your ace when you're trying to win a World Series.
Yeah, when he's almost a guaranteed dub.
Yeah, and also for Joe Musgrove too. Like I was trying to think about it. Like I was thinking about the contract and stuff a while back, and I was like, all right, like, are they gonna really be able to get him? Like, how is this gonna work out, dude? If they don't, okay, I'll tell you guys right now. If Joe Musgrove is not a San Diego Padre in 2023, I think I will rip all of the ownership, everyone, for months, dude, because that is abysmal. He is in San Diego, playing for his hometown team, through the first no-hitter, has a San Diego Padres tattoo, talks about how much it means to him. The dude goes out last year. He went out after one of those games where he had a sweet game. It was the Victor Caratini walk-off. Was at bars buying people rounds of drinks. He is literally living his dream. And I think I was reading something that basically he kind of told his agent, like, I don't want to deal with this during the season. Like, if we get some done, we get some done. If we don't, like, we'll figure it out. But this is one of those situations where he's like, look, I want to be here. Let's figure it out. they better figure it out. Like he's living his dream right now. It's pretty sick to see. And like, I don't know, dude. I would just be shocked if they don't end up hanging on to him.
Yeah, I think they know from a marketing standpoint, from a team standpoint, every standpoint, he's one of your best chances to make money and win. I really think he might have taken over the Padres fan base as the favorite player. Because remember, it was probably Tatis. Tatis is probably the fan base's favorite player. Right now, I would honestly bank on it being Joe Musgrove. Maybe when Tatis comes back and he's hitting 450-foot bombs and doing all these cool bat flips and all that, maybe he'll be San Diego's poster boy again. But for right now, I do think it is Joe Musgrove. That I'm not speaking for myself at all. Fernando's my favorite player. But
what about the god himself?
Which one? Oh, hey, bro. It's funny. I was actually arguing with my parents because my parents' favorite player is their favorite player is Manny, and I go, my favorite is Fernando, but surprisingly enough, my second favorite is Jake Cronenworth, which it might sound surprising, but bro, I love him. I mean, I really love Jake Cronenworth. I mean, it's only because like this guy came out of nowhere. He was like a 27-year-old rookie. He probably only had one more chance. I mean, he comes in a Padre uniform, replacing the guy we hate the most, and he balls out. And he's now a staple and one of the stars of this Padres team. Whereas, like, Manny, shit, I hope we got this out of Manny. I knew we were going to get this out of Manny. So,
yeah, those are the expectations.
Exactly.
You're meeting expectations.
Yeah, exactly.
I also saw this comment. This is hilarious, Arthur. I remember an episode last season where one of you picked Tommy Pham as your breakout player for a series with much hesitation. I can just imagine us being like, Tommy Pham. Ooh. We might have to start doing some like breakout player stuff again because those were super fun to do.
Yeah,
except that they've not panned out at all. We're like, yo, Trent Grisham. Oh man, he has a 600 OPS. Look at that. Tommy Pham's just like the worst player in the league for the first 2 months. Oh my god,
he was bad.
It's hard to like bank on someone to like become better than they have been like recently.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what else we got here? Probably gonna take off in a second. Okay, Arthur, you have another one. Rays won the Austin Meadows trade. Okay, what happened with Austin Meadows? What was going on with that? Because I saw some people discussing that.
Sorry, he sucks.
Because did he go? No, he went to the Rays. No, he was on the Rays before, right?
Went to the Tigers.
Okay.
Where everybody goes to die, essentially.
Dude, that's what I thought. That's what I thought he went. But he was great on the Rays.
No, he was fantastic.
Yeah,
he was definitely really good. This season, he's batting .250 with a .675 OPS.
He has like no power though. That's the thing.
And that's the thing. Like you remember when we were talking about him, it was like, well, we need power, and he's the guy. Well, I'm sure they got him for power, and he's not been that guy. I think the Tigers have just been such a dumpster fire. Javier Baez he might be even worse than Austin Meadows. He's one of the least valuable players in baseball. He's going to go down as like an Eric Hosmer type contract.
Dude, I didn't realize he got paid that much.
Yeah,
Simeon too. Simeon's is horrible.
Too. Yeah.
Now he's been turning it around, but he literally had like a historic worst start to a massive contract ever. But also his deal doesn't even make any sense. Like we talk about Hosmer's. Dude, Marcus Simeon's contract is probably the most egregious contract I've ever seen.
Yeah, because
no reasoning behind that.
None. They went and got the wrong guys, bro. They went and got Simeon and Seager. It's like, dude, you guys went and got Simeon, who's done this once. He's done this once or twice, had that kind of season. And then Corey Seager, who's like always injured. And is Corey Seager good? He's not doing good now. Is Corey Seager good? Yeah. Is he crappy defensively? Also, yeah. Is he injured often? Also, yeah. Like, I don't know. They paid the wrong guys. Same with the Tigers, man. That Javi Baez, everyone knew. It was just like a name brand kind of thing. You pay for Nike, but sometimes you don't get Nike quality.
Yeah, but you're not paying for Nike when you're getting Seager. You're getting Simeon, bro. I mean, when it happened, I remember. I think we did a live stream or something, and like they had just signed. We're like, yeah, we do not understand what they're trying to do. This makes no sense. I I don't know. It's interesting to see what will go on. Ace, Jake Cronengerth. Gotta always appreciate the
I like that one.
Cronengerth comments, of course.
God is the one.
Yeah, Texas is the land of the former Dodgers. Dude, I thought that Kershaw was going to go to the Rangers too.
No, I did too. There were definitely heavy reports on that. Who did the comment at the bottom say to revisit? Verdugo?
No. He's saying someone has vertigo. I don't know who it is. The Koger 13. Who has vertigo?
I'm talking about this one.
Oh, let's revisit.
And then you put let's.
Oh, how has he been?
Let me see.
Also, the Red Sox have been a lot better too. So I don't.
Yeah,
I think it's a lot less likely that they'll trade him.
Yeah, I also think the same with Martinez. He's hitting 247 with a 640 OPS. He's essentially the same player that, except for batting average, which is essentially the same player he's normally been, and on base percentage.
He's negative for average this year.
Yeah. I forgot. Like not that long ago, he was one of the 5 worst players in baseball.
Yeah, he's kind of. Oh, he's having a dude. He only has a 640 OPS.
He's struggling.
Wow. Dave. Okay, I think last one. Then we'll probably take off after this. What did David Peralta trade work? Dude, you know this guy's. I think he's the highest average of active players in the league against the Padres.
Oh yeah, he's a Padre killer, bro.
Dude, he's worse than Justin Turner. This man is insane. Okay, David Peralta. Let's see. Who's the other guy? Who's the other guy that always kills the Padres?
Oh shoot, I don't know. Any former Padre, you could bank on.
Yeah, that's also true.
Peralta's hitting 234 with a 737 OPS.
He's hurt right now, though. I think.
Let me see when he last
game
played.
logs.
Yeah.
Last time he played. June
2 days ago.
So maybe he just some little injury. What's his contract? Also, I'm not super against it. I just want to see how much. Let's see how much he makes. He's a good hitter. He's a good player. Last year, I don't know. He honestly hasn't been that good since 2019. I don't know. Not the biggest fan. I think the Padres I don't know. I was talking about it before. Like, okay, you can go get like a mid-tier outfield option. Oh, it's Charlie Blackmon's the guy too. Dude, he's ridiculous. That is
he kills the Padres.
I don't know. David Peralta is a little tough because I had been talking about it before. Like, hey, you can go get a Benintendi, a Hap, but now I'm kind of like torn because I'm like, okay, is it really worth it to go get one of those guys? Maybe Hap if he can play center, but I don't really think upgrading a corner outfield spot is necessarily where it's at anymore.
I don't know. I mean,
and I don't want them to go trade for a catcher.
No,
it's just kind of tough, dude. Like that's why I was thinking we got to do a position video about like trades because I do kind of wonder, like, I don't know. I wonder what like who they'll actually be trying to go for, but I don't know. I think you go for the home run.
I do. I think
this is the year you do it, right? Like
I think you go for the fences. If you don't hit it out there, then stick with it. Stick with what you got.
What other center field options could you go after?
I think the fence, bro, I don't know who's on the market. The market's gonna fluctuate so much because teams are gonna go like on 10-game losing streaks, 10-game win streaks. Like it's gonna fluctuate heavily.
Laureano
is a good center field option, yeah.
Dude, and I don't know if Jaron's still here. I haven't seen him, or Jaron. He only has 130 at bats. He hasn't really looked that good. Dude, he might be the move.
He might be a steal.
You could. Could you flip Grisham a little bit more than Grisham for him? Probably.
I think they probably have to give up a little more.
You think they would have to give up more?
I think they'd have to give up like a Laureano plus a prospect to get Grisham. And that's not because of my views on Grisham. That's because of what seems like the league's views on Grisham.
Yeah. I mean, also, I don't know if you saw this. There's a chart of the Grisham trade, actually. Bro, the Padres won the Grisham trade.
Oh, yeah, bro. No doubt about it. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Mariano. Oh, he's sucked so far this year. He's already 27, too.
Yeah. I think still be okay.
All right, I got you. We'll give him Hosmer too. Eat Hosmer. No, that's the last team that would eat Hosmer's deal.
Definitely.
Yeah. Devin says Lariano, Benintendi, and Hap. I'm up there with them. Brandon De La Cruz or Brian De La Cruz.
Brian De La Cruz, yeah. He's doing good. Last time I checked. Not sure as of now. But.
He plays on Miami.
So struggling now?
He's hitting 207.
Yes.
How old is he?
Oh, hell no, I don't want this guy.
Dude, he's a 66 OPS plus. I want to see Trent Grisham for reference. You guys can just hear me typing, looking up all these numbers. Trent Grisham.
His average is trash. He just.
Dude, here's okay. I don't think. Do you ever think Trent Grisham's gonna turn into like a solid hitter? I don't. He can't hit fastballs, dude. He cannot hit them. Like he got one today. I don't know if you saw it. I think it was in his first. He actually had a pretty solid game today, but he got a fastball, 87, right down the pipe. Because Bumgarner can't throw for any velocity at this point. He has like one of the slowest fastballs in the league. Swing and a miss. And like it's one pitch, right? But we've seen it be the pattern for so long.
Mm-hmm.
He can be your 9-hitter.
Yeah,
but like, if you're gonna platoon, sorry, go ahead.
I've been preaching him as a 9-hitter. I've been like banging the table for this guy as a 9-hitter, and I really don't think he's ever gonna be like a above average hitter. I think he's gonna be average to below average. What saves him is his defense. That's why he's still gonna bring value to your team, whatever team he's on. He's going to bring a lot of value on defense. Essentially, that's what's going to keep him in a Padres uniform. If he stays in a Padres uniform, is that he's starting to get on base a lot more recently. Last 30 games, 333. Last 7, 300. So he just, like, even when Don and Mud were talking about it, they were like, what helps out Trent Grisham, though his average is low, is that he just gets on base. So it's like, that's what's saving him. He better keep getting on base and having a good glove. But other than that, I don't really think there's much value outside of that.
Yeah, I mean, he could be a 9-hitter.
And I like Grisham.
Yeah, he had a rough error the other day, but he rarely makes mistakes like that.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, you toss him in the 9-hole. Like, I don't. That's the other thing. Like, that's what's cool about this Padres deadline. I forget who it was, but they had commented like, "Hey, something different about this year compared to last year is that it's not like, oh, the Padres have to go get this guy." You don't have that feeling. If they didn't trade for anyone, it's like, okay, this is still a really good team with a lot of depth. Like, yeah, you might want to upgrade a couple spots, but if you can't, it's not the end of the world. So, like, it's not like that. And also, there's so many outfield options, too. So, it's not like there's all that pressure. But, yeah, I mean, Trent Grisham is a good defender, so it's a plus. Last year, he had over a 3 WAR. Pretty solid.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he's good at bunting now.
Yeah,
he couldn't bunt for shit last year. Oh my god, dude!
I wonder what his WAR is now. I think it's almost a 1. So he's like,
it's exactly 1.
It's 1. Yeah, he's on track for a 3 again. If he gets his bat up, he'll be over a 3, which is a pretty solid player, I guess.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say about Trent, I've been seeing people have been like, "Oh, Trent's been like he's been way better," but then they show the numbers and it's like, what, he's over this like last stretch, he's at a 720 OPS. Like,
yeah, like he's been okay.
Yeah, like, but it's not like, oh, he's turning the corner. It's like, no, he's like below average hitter. Like that's not like oh, he's bouncing back. So he's been so up and down though. If he can find some consistency, if he could be a little over a 700 OPS, it's not that bad. But like he's been struggling so far this year.
Yeah.
That's why I think like I think trade deadline you're not really forced into like going after anything super specific, which is super nice.
Yeah, swing for the fences or whatever.
Yeah, or you're chilling and you have, money coming off the books in the offseason. You can even get better next year, and you're making a title run this year. So,
agreed.
I don't know. I'm pumped for it, but I think that's probably everything I got. Isaac, anything else you want to bring up before we take off?
No.
All right, guys. We'll do a Phillies preview for tomorrow. On Friday, we'll have some sort of episode out. Not exactly sure what that will be. Also, I think tomorrow, if not this weekend, we're going to be starting up a TikTok. So that'll be fun to do. Probably do daily content there. Just it'll be pretty quick, but I think it'll be a fun thing that we can kind of add in. And we'll probably also do clips of the podcast as well. But yeah, looking forward to it. This Phillies series is a test. The Phillies are in a lot better shape than when the Padres played them earlier in the year. And Isaac, you get to go tomorrow to the Jay Cronin.
I'm getting my bobblehead. I'm
Dude,
getting my
that's
bobblehead.
sick.
I'm getting my bobblehead for sure.
All right, guys. We'll talk to y'all soon. Phillies preview tomorrow. Some video Friday. No video Saturday. Sunday, we'll be doing a live stream again. So we'll talk to you guys all then. So see you soon.